After bolting away from the scene of the incident, Kumasaka flopped down on a bench, panting heavily. Tozawa apologized for making him carry her while they were running at full speed. She looked at him with both worry and concern. Grounding himself, Kumasaka turned to Tozawa, asking about her hand. Tozawa, now noticing it, mentions that it's a bit red now, but it doesn't hurt anymore. Kumasaka, genuinely upset, says that even though he was right there, he let her get hurt. From the bottom of his heart, he apologizes. Tozawa, stunned, asks why is he the one apologizing. Tozawa admits that it's kinda her fault since she was being too careless. Kumasaka immediately says that what she's saying isn't true. What Tozawa couldn't admit was that she was too focused on finding ways to hook up with Kumasaka to notice the creep. Embracing Kumasaka, Tozawa buries her face in his chest. Kumasaka got flustered, blushing hard as Tozawa began to speak. She confesses that she was scared earlier, but is thankful that Kumasaka saved her. Kumasaka, standing there feeling awkward, begins to speak, saying to Tozawa that they should probably go. But his comment goes unanswered, as Tozawa wasn't paying attention to him and was locked in to her embrace. Calling out worried, Kumasaka says Tozawa's name, mentioning that it's getting hard to breathe with her locking into him so hard. As she begins to crush him, she blushed hard and formed hard eyes. She promised herself internally that she would absolutely get Kumasaka to spend the night with her. Following days, Tozawa seeked out Kumasaka and would sit with them and spend time with them, first asking if she can join him for a lecture, bubbling with happiness. Later, she joined him in the cafeteria, having saved seats for the pair so they could eat together. She approached him at the end of the day, asking if they could walk home together and stop by a cafe. But she stopped when she saw Kumasaka crying, questioning why. Internally, Kumasaka was just so happy that he finally had a university friend. On the bus to uni, Kumasaka asked Tozawa if she's free after 5th period. Tozawa, at light speed, answers that she was. Kumasaka notes that she replies very quickly. Leaning into her, Kumasaka whispers that he wants Tozawa to stop by his place for a while, and it won't take long. Tozawa goes flush red as she thinks that her dream has come true, and they'll finally have their intimate night together. Standing in Kumasaka's apartment, Tozawa was completely baffled as to why she was holding veggies and not Kumasaka. He thanks her for taking some of the harvest off his hand, as his granny had sent him too much, like she does every year. With a disappointed pout, Tozawa says that she'll enjoy these and thanks him for it. The next day, Tozawa approached Kumasaka with a bento box, made with the veggies that he had gifted her. He tells her that that's not why he gave them to her, but she counters saying that she made it for him because she wanted to. She comments on the ingredients, mentioning a variety of foods, most of which are fancy. As she rattled off the names, she had a slight blush and darkened eyes, hinting to the scheme that she had brewing. Kumasaka notes that the components of the bento sound so luxurious. Digging in, Kumasaka finds the bento scrumptious, saying that Tozawa is awesome for making something so delicious. Still mischievous, with her blush and darkened eyes, she softly adds that there's also some blood from a soft-shell turtle, which is believed to be an aphrodisiac. Power erupting from him, Kumasaka's veins pop up while his shirt shreds from his body. Looking like a feral ogre, Kumasaka huffs and puffs in a fervor of lust. Tozawa mentally comments that the bento box was effective, maybe too effective. Seeing her chance, she clings to Kumasaka's bulging arm, seductively calling his name as she rubs against it, her dark, temptress eyes in full bloom. To her surprise, Kumasaka holds onto her, saying her name. He leans in close, telling her that he can't hold on any longer, breathing into her ear. Tozawa, blushing, now acts more like a maiden rather than a panther. Racing for a kiss, she was still acting like a maiden with her blush and shut eyes. She thinks that it's finally gonna happen, but is stunned when she hears a thump. Opening her eyes, she manages to see Kumasaka as he drops to the floor. Looking down, Tozawa sees Kumasaka passed out on the floor. She begins to call his name, worried. Seeing him still unresponsive, she then screams his name, but he's still out cold. What she didn't know was that eating all those stamina-enhancing substances while his blood flowed to one part of the body, it can cause a loss of consciousness. Tozawa approached Kumasaka, telling him that when she's having a good time, she likes to take pictures and post them online. Kumasaka asks if she wants to do it with him, which she tells him she does. Tozawa tells him how to pose as they get ready for the picture, moving and positioning him like a doll. Once in position, she takes the picture. Looking at the photo, Tozawa comments on how great it came out. So good, in fact, that she posts it right away. Kumasaka tries to stop her, seeing how NTR the picture looks, but he's unable to do it on time. Another day, Kumasaka stops Tozawa, telling her not to move. He leaned in, hands outstretched. Looking at Kumasaka with hard eyes, she thinks that now they are finally going to do it. Until Kumasaka tells her that she has a bug in her hair, terrifying her. Tozawa then begins to flail and cry like a child, trying to flee from the fly on her head, as Kumasaka tells her not to move anymore. He'll get rid of it for her. Kumasaka apologizes as he grabs Tozawa's face before plucking off the fly and flicking it away. While still squeezed in Kumasaka's hand, Tozawa, red from crying and looking as innocent as could be, asks if it's gone, if it's all okay now. Seeing her in this position, little Kumasaka rises to the occasion, to Kumasaka's horror. Not wanting her to see, Kumasaka tells her that there's another bug, but he'll get it, she just needs to close her eyes. Starting to cry again, Tozawa begs him to get rid of this bug too.